Hi guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update for your speech because this week in class they're mostly just working on the speech itself. A couple things that I noticed about the bullet points that I want to share with you. Be careful that you are not doing complete sentences for the bullet points. I mean, that's not totally wrong or anything, but your bullet points are just your initial thought process. So you're just sort of brainstorming ideas, writing. You don't need to sit down and try to formulate them into nice constructed sentences. So your bullet points were supposed to be due yesterday, on Thursday. However, I know I did not put the assignment sheet up until much later, and I very much apologize for that. So your bullet points are going to be due by the end of the day today, and then your rough draft will be due Monday, just like normal, or Tuesday. No, Monday. Yes, sorry, I have it written up there for next week, and I thought it was this week. So for your bullet points, you're doing the brainstorming. Then I want you to move into those questions that are progress number 2. The questions reflect the questions that I've asked in the outline on the assignment sheet. So on the assignment sheet, you saw that I have pretty much outlined the entire speech for you. So these questions just expand on that. But it will also help you to expand your bullet points into sentences. Then you can take those sentences and expand them into a rough draft. Now, if you are someone like I was in high school and you're like, wow, this is a lot of baby steps that I don't feel like I need to take. Number 1, maybe you should try anyway just to make sure that you got it all down and you aren't confused about anything. But if you're completely 100% confident, write that rough draft, go back, answer those questions, write down some bullet points, and then just don't tell me and I'll never know. I want you to do it the right way, but I can also sympathize with somebody that's just like, I'm going to write my whole paper. In high school, I used to write the final draft, then I used to change a few things that were incorrect into a rough draft and turn that in, and then just keep my final draft and turn it in, and it was fine. I am a writer though, and not a lot of people can do that kind of thing necessarily. So if you're someone that can't, don't feel bad. It's not something that everyone is inherently born with. I just happen to be really good at English stuff. And if you're not really good at English stuff, then following each of these steps is going to be what you should do. If you are confident in it, but you're not going to go to that length, you can break it down into the 3 steps instead of the 9 steps. Bullet points, rough draft, outline. That's kind of the condensed version. And then if you're completely lost and you're like, I have no idea what's happening, I need to start from square one, go steps 1 through 9. So I'm trying to give you a variety of ways to do it, but within the same kind of sphere of order, I guess, is the way that I'm trying to say it. So Monday, I'm going to check your rough draft. I just want you guys to type it up and send it to me, or write it on that packet, or print it out, write it, take a picture is fine. On Monday, we are going to draw for order in class. You guys don't necessarily need to have an order because we're going to show your videos on Friday. Y'all are always going to be on the second day, and I'll schedule a couple more people on the first day in-class speeches. That way we have time to watch y'all's videos. And then on Monday, you will also be working on your outline. Then once you're kind of halfway done with it, I want you to send it to me just so I can check to make sure that you are on the right track. It doesn't have to be done by the end of the day. Monday, I just want to see some kind of progress. Because Wednesday, your entire speech is going to be due. Typed MLA format except for single space, not double space, because I'm weird like that. I like to see it in its 2-page state, not in 4 different pages all spread out. I've never understood double spacing. Sorry, English people. And then we're going to do our presentations. So I was originally going to try to video some people's presentations in class. But what I think I'm going to do is just give you the link to the other classes' Flipgrids, and then you can watch the other distance learner people in different classes or in your own class, and then do some constructive criticism for them. Now, I do have the constructive criticism peer review sheet, but it's very easy to see. I haven't put this up online yet. There are 10 categories, like the rubric that I explained the other day. There is a section for likes, areas of improvement, and suggestions on how they can improve. You're just going to write that for each person that you watch and fill it out. Now, I may have said this already, but likes has to be quantified with something. It can't just be, it was a good speech, because that doesn't help the person know what they're doing well on. Areas of improvement, again, has to be quantified. If you just said it was a bad speech, number one, that's not constructive criticism, but number two, that doesn't give them anything that they need to focus on. So likes would be, they had very clear diction and enunciation. Their natural emotion was really good. They were smiling the whole time. Areas of improvement might be their volume was a little low and I couldn't hear them very well. They didn't have a very strong attention-grabbing introduction. So using these criteria here as quantifiers for what you're trying to critique. Then suggestions. If their volume was low, you might say you could suggest that they focus on adjusting to the room and practicing, standing in the middle of the room to make sure that people can hear them on all sides, those kinds of things. And attention-grabbing introduction, you might suggest that they go back and look at chapter 6 to look at the elements of the introduction, or they find something, change up their AGD, however they said it. Maybe instead of a question, they need to tell a story, something like that. So that's what we're going to focus on, because when you're able to identify the problems with someone else's speech, it kind of brings more attention to it for you. If you notice that someone is wiggling around a lot, when you do your speech, you're going to think, maybe I need to pay more attention to how I'm moving, and make sure I'm not looking like that and wiggling around a lot. It sounds kind of mean, and I don't want it to be mean, but it's in order to know what it is that you need to improve on, you need to see other people do these things so you can see what it looks like. Because a lot of people don't realize that when they sway back and forth, it literally just looks like they're rocking on a ship. And this gets distracting very quickly. I'm just rocking back and forth in my chair. But that's what it looks like when you're up there speaking, when you're just going back and forth, and I can't concentrate on what you're saying. So that's all you are responsible for this weekend, is working on the rough draft. You need to have 5 full paragraphs. They don't need to be perfect, but they do need to be written out. So write your body paragraphs first, then work on intro and conclusion, especially if you get stuck with those things. Chapter 6 is your friend. It spells out each element of the introduction and conclusion, and it'll help you know what needs to come next. I also have that sample intro and conclusion with the sample outline up online. I will put the peer review notes up online. Now that I'm thinking about it, they might already be there, but I can't remember. So if they're not, I'll put them up. And then Wednesday, it is turn in your speech time. So I will update you before then, but please turn in your bullet points by the end of the day today. Thanks, everybody, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.